Welcome to part 2 of Rudolph's Mountains in Gran Canaria. I'm out on my own today, which now I've made a start. I'm feeling quite good. Oh dear, I suffer with terrible anxiety when I go abroad. I can't explain why that is. When I first arrived, I was sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, how am I going to cope being here for 2 weeks? But it comes in waves, and yeah, it's been great getting out. I got my friends Alan and Paul here as well, as you've seen from part 1. Paul loves his cycling, and they've gone off cycling again today. I've done a fair bit of cycling, which maybe I'll show you a few clips of now. A lot of this walk so far has been away from the ridgeline, but the path briefly joins the ridge for a second here, and the views are absolutely gorgeous. We're going to drop down away from the ridge again now as we pull up towards the next top on the way up. Whew. I think this is the last big deviation away from the ridge. Hopefully we'll return to the ridge at the end of this next section, and then the walk stays more on the ridge than off it after that. So far, most of the time I've been down below the crest, and it's been hot and not a lot of breeze, so yeah, I'm glad it's fairly handy in the morning. It's about 10:30ish, I think. So if you watched the video before Christmas when I popped up Mulvamai, I mentioned there that my eldest daughter had been unwell and was in hospital, so received a lot of kind messages. Thank you for those. She was in for a few days, and then was back home, or back to her flat again, and she's doing great, and she's still on holiday with us in Gran Canaria too, which is fabulous. I'll tell you a story one day. sure there'll be a moment and it feels right to talk about it. Oh, right now I am back on the ridge, Breeze Beat, and the views are splendid. Even if the path is a bit more rocky than it has been. Whew. Wow, dear me, the first part of this walk was quite dull, to be fair, and then the last half hour or so it's got to be spectacular. Ahead of me, as you've seen on some of the shots, is a rock called Rook Almeida, and we're going to go quite close to that on the way past, on the way to our destination for today. And like many of the tops on this route, the path doesn't actually go to the top, the path just goes close to it, and so whether it is possible to reach the summit, I don't know. Only time will tell. We'll have a look. I don't mind doing a bit of easy scrambling, but it's on my own in the middle of nowhere in unfamiliar territory, so I'm not going to be taking any risks. Right, where's that path gone? Right, so we can see our destination for today, although I think the true top is behind what we can see here. It's called Amurga, and it's the highest one of this range, really. Like in Gran Canaria, they're all sort of connected and ultimately end up in the centre of the island. But after this, it drops considerably. So that's our target, and I'm making good time. It is 12:05, so I've been going for 2.5 hours. The OS map said it would take 5.5 hours to get to the top, which I thought for a sort of 10k walk to get there was a bit pessimistic. No, we're not there yet. Let's see, but hopefully it's looking more like a 3-hour rather than a 5-hour. I shall report back as we reach, well, hopefully reach the top. As I say, there's no marked path that goes to the top, I don't think, but it looks a lot more accessible than Roque Almeida behind me, which we'll go and have a look at on the way back, see whether there's a way we can get up there. Our last section was tough, steep and loose. Won't be fun going down there again a bit later. But we are on our final pull to the top, and the point where we turn round. There we go, welcome to the top of Amurga, 3,704 feet. Oh, let me show you the view from here. Good grief. in the cloud over there. The Pico de Neves, that's the highest point in the island. You actually drive to the top of it, so it doesn't seem to be an awful lot of point in heading up there. I'll hook that down there. Beautiful. Right, it is 12:30, so 3 hours to get here I think. Let's find a seat and have some lunch before we start our way back and see if we can find a way up there. It doesn't look that accessible, does it? But we'll have a look, we'll have a look. Right, this is the southern end of Amurga, which I'm now leaving behind as we head over there. And you know, it does look like it's doable as long as you pick the right route. But let's go and have a look. First thing first, I need to scoot round and pick up the path again. Wow, holy mackerel. Wow, that wasn't too bad, some easy scrambling, and now I'm on the top of Rook Almeida, and you can see at the end here Amurga, where I've just come from. What a place that is. Let me turn around and show you. That's Amurga over there. Look at that ridge. Breathtaking. Absolutely breathtaking. Let me take you to the how rude. Let me take you to the other end and show you the view down the valley. Wow. Oh dear me. Right, gonna crack straight on. And I think maybe another top we can pick up on the way back. If there is, I shall bring you back then. I'm going back the same way that I've come up, so I shan't video too much only if I visit somewhere new. Wow, I've got us baking now. Just popped off the path to visit another top, Alto del Hornillo, 3,291 feet I think it is. Wow, look at this. Gorgeous. Right, on to the next one. 3,278 feet, Cerro Puercos. And this one, I saw the cairn from over there and I just couldn't resist it. But it's been quite a big effort to get up here because it was very steep on that side. I had to come all the way around. Wow, gorgeous. Oh dear. Right, I've got a decision to make. If I stay on the ridge, if I can stay on the ridge, it'll cut a big corner back to the path. Otherwise I've got to go and retrace my steps. So I'm going to have a look to see whether I can just amble my way along the ridge. The contour lines are okay, it doesn't look too steep, but that doesn't mean anything. There could be some rocky drops which don't show on the map. Wow, beautiful. Oh, anyway, we'll keep pushing on. It is now 2:30, and so we've got plenty of time, but not enough time to dilly-dally. So far so good, which has been fine. Still got to get down off the other side, so no counting chickens just yet. Right, I've reached the end of the ridge, and it was tough going, lost shorter, but very technical, very challenging, but great views, and because your mind was busy all the time, time passed a lot more quickly than following the inland path, which is much easier going, but long and fairly dull. But as I worried about, the ridge ended with a bit of a drop. There's the path down there, and so I'm going to try and pick it up on an angle rather than head straight down to it, because I think it looks fairly steep. The ground looks horrible as well, so let's just see if we can find a way down to the path, which isn't too bad. Saw a grasshopper before, about the same size as a Land Rover Discovery. It was enormous. Good grief. Well, I'm back on the path, and coming down off there wasn't too bad. It just take plenty of time, and pick a route down did take a while, but now I'm back on the main path. Should be good progress back to the car. Whew. Oh. And another top, Alto de los Romanos. Oh my word, that one down there I think will be the last one we do today. Wowzers, I'm pooped. Go on, let's keep going, And there we go, Alto del Coracol, our last top of the day. What an epic day it's been. All that remains now is to go back to the car, which is still a few kilometres away, the way down there. But it's been epic. So I hope you've enjoyed part 2 of this Gran Canaria adventure, and hopefully I will see you on the next one.